Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm really glad you're here because today we're talking about something that will feel very personal for a lot of you. This isn't about the news, the economy, or what your boss said in that meeting. It's about the most powerful voice in your life. And here's the twist. It's not your partner, your best mate, or your mum. It's not even your boss. The person who talks to you more than anyone else, day in and day out, is you. And for most of us, that voice is brutal. Right now, while you're watching this, your inner voice has already passed a few judgments. Maybe it's saying, "This won't work for me," or "I've heard this before." Or maybe it's reminding you of that time you messed up at work, or when you froze in a presentation, or when you said something awkward in a conversation and replayed it for the next 3 days. That voice, the one that's always ready with a "you're not good enough" or "you'll never pull this off," is the same voice that's been steering the wheel of your life for years. Here's a mind-blowing fact. Neuroscientists estimate we have around 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts every single day. That's one thought every 1.2 seconds while you're awake. And here's the kicker. 80% of those thoughts are negative, and 95% are exactly the same as yesterday. Which means, without even realizing it, we're running an old mental program, one written years ago, maybe when we were 5 or 10 years old, and it's still controlling how we think, feel, and act today. For years, I thought my inner critic was keeping me grounded. You know, don't get your hopes up. You'll just be disappointed. I told myself it was a way to protect myself from failure. Maybe you felt the same, thinking that being tough on yourself will push you harder. But here's what I discovered. That voice isn't your conscience. It's your conditioning. It's not wisdom, it's wounded programming. Think about it. Would you hire someone to follow you around all day whispering, "You're going to mess this up. Everyone's judging you. You're not qualified"? Of course not. You'd call security. But we let our inner critic do exactly that for free. And it's not just in your head in the way people think. Dr. Kristin Neff's research shows that people who practice self-compassion are 23% more likely to achieve their goals, have 43% lower anxiety, and recover from setbacks 67% faster. But here's the shocking bit. Brain scans show that self-criticism activates the same areas as physical pain. Your brain doesn't know the difference between you saying, "I'm stupid," and someone actually punching you in the face. Both feel like a threat. That's why after a few days of being hard on yourself, you feel drained, tense, even sick. It's literally your brain in survival mode. So how do we change it? I use something I call the 3R method. It's simple, but it works. First, recognize. For one day, carry a small notebook or use the Notes app on your phone. Every time you catch yourself thinking something negative about yourself, make a tally mark. Don't try to change it yet, just notice. You might be shocked at how many times it happens. I once had over 200 marks by lunch. Second, reframe. When you spot a negative thought, ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? If it's hurting, try this. Imagine your best friend was in your situation. What would you say to them? Research shows we give advice to others that's far kinder and more optimistic than what we tell ourselves. Third, replace. Swap the thought for something realistic but compassionate. Instead of, "I'm terrible at presentations," say, "I'm learning to present more confidently." Instead of, "I always mess things up," say, "I'm human and humans learn through experience." This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about truthful kindness. Now here's your 7-day challenge. Every morning, look in the mirror and say one genuinely kind thing to yourself. something you'd say to someone you care about. And when your inner critic pipes up during the day, pause and ask, whose voice is this really? Often you'll realize it's not actually yours. It's the echo of a parent who demanded perfection, a teacher who humiliated you, or a friend who always had to make you feel smaller. The moment you recognize it's not your voice, it starts to lose its power. Remember this, you are going to spend more time with yourself than anyone else in your entire life. You might as well make it good company. That voice in your head will either be the wind in your sails or the anchor holding you back. The choice is yours. If this connected with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And before you click off, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because here we're learning how to silence the noise that holds us back and turn up the volume on kindness, courage, and confidence. The voice in your head is not the voice of truth. It's just the voice that's been the loudest. Let's change the volume together.